Live at 5, this is 13 News Now.
Morning's wintry mix came in just as quickly as it left. This is video of those snow showers as they started falling outside the 13 News Now studio.
Well, unfortunately, these chilly temperatures and windy conditions will last into tonight. And Jeff, this is not our last chance for snow this week.
No, we actually in the next 7 days have 2 more chances for seeing some winter weather. Generally clear skies out there. There are a couple of clouds, especially right near the coastline, actually. But looking west, things have begun to clear, getting ready for sunset. But I mentioned east, a little bit different story. Here's what we're talking about. They're not only clouds, actually even a couple of light little snowflakes left out there. A couple of super light flurries right down near Knott's Island. Some of those, in fact, most of them probably not even reaching the ground. It is so light. But the last little vestiges of this system are pulling out. So right now, we have 37 degrees, winds out of the northwest, making it feel even colder than it actually is. As we go through the remainder of the evening and the overnight, really just more of the same with cold air settling in. We're going to drop from the 30s, start to go back here down, as you can see, more and more low down into the 20s by morning. And that doesn't factor in the wind. It will feel like the upper teens at times. So some cold air moves in, but then we have a little bit of a brief warm up before our next chance of snow. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Developing now, a threat causes a school to evacuate and shut down for the day. The scary moments force teachers and students to leave Matthew County High and head to safety at the nearby middle school. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee joins us live from Matthews. And Jacqueline, what exactly happened?
Yeah, David, we know that school administrators called parents around 10 o'clock this morning explaining that they were made aware of some sort of threat. They were evacuating all students and faculty to Thomas Hunter Middle School down the road. I spoke with a parent. She said that she and her son are just relieved that no one was hurt. For parent Brandy Doyle, it was a scary way to start the morning when she got a phone call from her 10th grade son.
He asked me if I would meet him at the middle school. They were being evacuated and he didn't know why.
Matthews High School received a threat. The school district wouldn't clarify what kind of threat it was or how they received it, but they evacuated all students and faculty to Thomas Hunter Middle School.
Everything runs through your mind. You know, this day and age, you never know what's going to happen. There's evil everywhere, and you just have to trust your administrators.
Parents rushed to pick up their kids at the middle school. Classes were canceled for the rest of the day.
I feel better now that he's home. It was, it was a moment of panic, but it was resolved really well.
The Matthews County Sheriff's Office and Virginia State Police conducted a search at the high school and the surrounding area. They found nothing to verify the threat. And all after-school activities are still going on as scheduled today. School will resume as normal tomorrow. Now stay with us on 13 News Now at 6. I'll tell you how students were reacting when all of this went down. Live in Matthews County, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
An update on a disturbing discovery in Hampton. Vernon Silver entered an Alfred plea on animal cruelty charges after 21 dead dogs were found on his property. That means he does not admit guilt, but realizes there is enough evidence to convict him. In March, Officer Angela Taylor was first to respond. 4 dogs were so badly decomposed, she described them as mush. Silver will be sentenced March 22nd. We're waiting to hear what caused the death of a missing Poquoson woman. Police found Kathleen Diggs. Unfortunately, she died shortly after medics took her to the hospital. Diggs went missing Thursday night, and someone spotted her lying face down in a ditch yesterday in Hampton near I-64 and Hampton Road Center Parkway. We're told when she was found, she was incoherent and was having trouble breathing.
An alleged drunk driver smashes into a car in Chesapeake, trapping a woman inside her vehicle. Now the search is on for the Good Samaritan who rescued Jessica Logsdon before emergency responders could get there. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin spoke with the grateful driver.
That's right, David. Well, as you can imagine, in a car crash, everything happens so fast. And that's why the Chesapeake woman is asking for the public's help to find the stranger who helped her out after being hit in a car.
Around 10:40 last Friday night, 24-year-old Jessica Logsdon was in her car with her best friend driving down North Battlefield Boulevard. Jessica says that's when this white car jumped the median.
This woman comes out of nowhere.
She says the drunk driver then hit her friend's car.
I mean, she was screaming through the phone and crying hysterically.
While on a panicked phone call with her mom, an unknown woman came to the friend's rescue.
I couldn't get out of the car because the door was, like, I guess, jammed shut.
Jessica says the woman told them to turn off their car.
Well, we need to turn the car off just in case it burst into flames because there was smoke and everything. So she's like, can I do anything? I'm like, yes, please let me out. She was like the Incredible Hulk and basically opened the door.
Then the woman unbuckled Jessica's seatbelt.
And by the time I was calm and everything, she was gone.
Now Jessica wants to find the woman she now calls her guardian angel.
I still don't know, but if she's out there, I would like to meet her and thank her for saving my life.
Well, Jessica told me she couldn't see the woman who rescued her well in the dark. All she has to go off of now is her memory that the woman had a ponytail and a dark blue sweatshirt and bangs. If you know the woman, please reach out to me and I'll pass it on to Jessica. In the studio, I'm Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
Man is arrested accused of slamming his car into a state trooper and then taking off. The trooper was struck in a safety work zone on I-64 in James City County just after 8 o'clock last night. DeAndre Gillis is charged with reckless driving. All eastbound lanes were shut down while state police investigated. Fortunately, that trooper only suffered minor injuries and is out of the hospital tonight. Search continues for the gunman who opened fire on a Newport News bus stop, hitting a 15-year-old boy. Meanwhile, police have increased their presence around high school bus stops. Just before 7 yesterday morning, the Heritage High School student was shot in the leg by someone inside of a red SUV.
It's an idea that keeps popping up, no matter how many times it gets shot down. Florida lawmakers are again making the push to land one of the Navy aircraft carriers currently homeported at Naval Station Norfolk. Mike Gooding tells us local leaders say it's a bad idea. Mike.
Well, that's right. That's exactly what they say, Janet. Too costly to American taxpayers, not necessary for national defense. Those are the arguments against. And then there's the impact on the Hampton Roads economy. Florida Senators Marco Rubio and Bill Nelson are behind the push to move a carrier to Naval Station Mayport. The pair co-authored a letter in an effort to get President Trump to put money in next year's defense budget. Retired Rear Admiral Craig Quigley says making infrastructure improvements at Mayport could reach $1 billion.
The Navy wants to put its money in new ships and the repair and modernization of existing ships, not redundant shore infrastructure.
A carrier move would be very costly to the Hampton Roads economy. In 2013, the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission projected that a carrier move would mean a loss of 3,200 crew members, 2,000 people in the air wing, and a total employment reduction of more than 10,400 jobs. ODU's economic forecasting project estimates that would translate into a loss of gross product of $750 million, or 0.79% of the overall economic activity. Virginia Senator Mark Warner, in a statement to 13 News Now, said such a move is a bad idea. He wrote, this proposal would prematurely move a single carrier at a cost of $1 billion taxpayer dollars without a proper comprehensive analysis of our national security needs.
Plus the skilled workforce needed to work on a nuclear-powered warship of that complexity. It's right here in Hampton Roads. It's not in Northeast Florida.
Back in 2012, Florida did succeed in convincing the Navy to move 3 Hampton Roads-based amphibious ships, the USS New York, the USS Iwo Jima, and the USS Fort McHenry. In all, more than 1,800 sailors made that move. Reporting live, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
A bill banning the chaining of dogs in extreme weather fails to advance in Richmond. HB 646 would have made it illegal to tie up a dog when the temperatures are below freezing or above 85 degrees. Still, some cities ban the practice. In Norfolk, if temperatures dip below 45, dogs must have shelter with 4 walls. Activists say they will now focus on a similar bill that has yet to be heard in the Senate. A big upset for proponents of marijuana. A state Senate committee has voted to kill a bill that would decriminalize small amounts of pot. 9 Republicans on the Senate Courts of Justice Committee voted against the bill, while 6 Democrats voted for it. The bill was aimed at changing the punishment for marijuana possession from a criminal misdemeanor to a civil penalty. However, legislation allowing someone charged with a first offense for marijuana possession to have it expunged, well, that is moving forward.